Okay, so this is a bit of a tutorial on gun cleaning and maintenance. This happens to be a double barrel over and under, but the principles are the same for any gun, you know, single barrels, so they're pumps and autos. The big cleaning steps are going to be the same. The only thing you're going to that's going to be different, obviously, is how you take it apart and and the fact that you've got to clean a bolt. How to get started with the cleaning kit? I recommend you buy, like I say, a cleaning kit. So, you know, one that contains the jag, the patches to start with. What else? The rod, brushes, wool mop, ball cleaner, all the sort of ancillary things you'll need. It may have oil in it, may not. But once you get started, if you're in the UK, I'm not sure about overseas, so sorry, America, Europe, rest of the world. But if you're in the UK, the Beretta importers, GMK, do quite a good cleaning kit, which is this one. You may see this badged up differently as Bisley or Bugger Hale or whoever, but these are just badged up differently. I think they're all made by the same people. Obviously, the other thing about buying a kit is that it comes in a box and it keeps it all together. This one in particular comes with a 3-piece wooden rod. Now, I quite like the wood because it won't scratch the inside of the barrels, and you can see the parts where it joins together are brass, so they won't scratch either. And actually, the wood rod is thicker than the screw-in points, so that if anything rubs the barrel walls, it's going to be the wood and not the brass. But once you've assembled the rod, you want to put some cleaning fluid on it. Now, you can use whatever fluid you like. You know, copper solvent will do the job because it's also a nitro solvent. You can use whatever you like, be it forest bore foam or one of these, which you see standing on the gun shop shelves. This one happens to be made by Bisley, or at least it's badged up Bisley. You'll find them badged up by different people. Bore cleaner. And the handy thing is it comes in a little spout. It's not in a jar where you have to use a dropper and go from the jar to the brush and then the jar back again. You can just it's all in the can. Obviously, take the top off because you don't get to get any out with the top on. Putting solvent on the brush is kind of like doing a bit of painting. You dip the brush in the can and then you wipe some off. So you don't want the brush, when you go to do the painting, you don't want it dripping, because A, it's going to go everywhere and it's going to look horrible on the wall, and you're going to have to brush it out, and it's going to be very thick in places. Similar with this, you don't want it dripping, but at the same time you don't want it dry. So how I do it is just go drop, 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 and then turn the brush around a little bit and go drip, 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 and then again, so 3 times, sort of 1 or 2 drops on each of the spirals, if you like. I know it's a continual spiral, but 1 on each of the I don't know, you get what I mean. And then comes to scrubbing, a bit of elbow grease. I like to keep my gun very clean, even though it has chrome line barrels. Clean is good. Cleanliness is next to godliness. So obviously enter from the chamber end, and I scrub sort of a rod, a third rod length. I do that 200 times for one barrel, and then I leave so I do 50 times. Then I rotate the brush, half a turn, a third of a turn. Do another 50 times, rotate the brush, another 50 times, and then rotate the brush. The reason for rotating the brush is you might notice that there's a little flat spot on the top of the brush there. See? And that's where it won't be touching the barrel wall. I don't know why that happens. I've had it with all of the phosphor bronze brushes that I've had. They all develop that flat spot over time. So rotate the brush in the barrel between each set of scrubs to make sure that you're contacting all of the barrel and you're scrubbing all of that powder out. And then I would probably continue, I don't know, say 150 to 200 times for the rest of the barrel. The main points of accumulation of crap are up here and down there, right on the chokes and the forcing cones where it gets narrow. What you get on the chokes is lubricant from the wad or plastic from the wad. I don't know if you can see that, but this is a wad from a fibre cartridge that I took apart a while ago, and it's slightly shiny. It's almost sort of waxy, and that's what you get left on the chokes. That'll come up as sort of dark streaks, and it's very hard to get off just by scrubbing like that. So once you've done your 200 scrubs in each barrel, and you've done your arms kind of hanging off, if you take your jag, this one happens to be plastic, and put that on the end of the barrel instead, take one of the patches, or even better, you'll find you think, oh, why am I using patches? They're really quite expensive. So what I've found works really well, and what other people I know use, is just a piece of kitchen paper, whatever brand. This actually is Tesco's, which is quite neat because you only have to cut it once. You just take one sheet, fold it in half widthwise, so that these two are the teared ends. Fold it in half widthwise and just use a pair of scissors and cut it in half. And what you do with that is, and this is another trick to cleaning the gun. When the rod is in 3 bits, what I like to do is put the rod between your legs, and then just let it rest on the table. That, because obviously you haven't got 3 hands, you don't want to go stick it down your trousers. That'll look a bit odd. But just hold it between your legs, between your knees. I'm going to have to squeeze this against the desk with my chest there. But fold the paper into, well, what's that, quarters, and then I just go like that. That just makes a crease in it and makes it a bit easier to roll up. And depending on the thickness of the kitchen paper you use or on the length, you may find you have to trim an inch off or something like that. But just wind that on to the jag like that, and then with no bore solvent at the moment, and just a dry patch, push it once through the bore and right out the other end, and then drop the cleaning rod through the barrel. And what that does is it pushes all the shit out without you pulling it back up, and then you can look down the barrel and it will be perfectly shiny. So instead of bringing the patch back up through the barrel and you depositing a little bit of dirt around the forcing cone where you want to see have you cleaned it enough, you push it all the way through the barrels, and if there's no powder there, it will be nice and shiny up here.